Good evening, guys, and welcome back. This is game 2 of UE versus EXE, the Roccat GosuCup semi-final. Game number 2, this is a best of 3, and game 1 being taken by EXE in not so convincing fashion. Well, they were convincing, but so were UE. Both teams just brought some of their best Dota. It was such a close game. EXE getting a really strong early game advantage, but UE fought so hard. Some points I thought their Syllabae with that Radiance was going to bring it back. They had the Panda as well, who just never really got the impact I thought it was going to have. I thought that Panda was going to work wonders for them, but being put in that off lane just basically limited his items and made it hard for him to have much of an impact. Laning against an anti-mage, you just kept mana draining him. But anyways, I'm Gods! Woo, that's me. That actually worked for once. I'm Gods from Ghosty Gamers, and I am your caster for tonight, bringing you this Roccat GosuCup semi-final action, and we're going to jump right into game 2. What to expect, guys? Absolutely mind-blowingly awesome Dota action. There's literally like chunks of my brain like on the ceiling, on my walls, on my curtains. It's just like I'm just like in the zone, like huge nerd here, just having absolute chills at the awesomeness of this game. Some nerdgasms at times. I'm gonna try to use any other nerd-related words I can find. But yeah, just absolutely awesome stuff last game, and both these teams really fighting hard. The winner of this goes on to the grand finals to verse MUFC, compete for $2,500, and wow, this is going to be absolutely epic. We're here we are, game 2, going to jump right in, guys, and looking at what we have got UE on the central team, led by Domi, once again, and on the Scourge team we have got EXE, being captained by Move, who I'm not actually sure who these EXE players are, as per usual. I don't know who is who. They've all got these little fancy names: Move, Juke, Leet, Eid, and Rice. So I know who Eid is because he hasn't got a fancy name. Anyways, we are going to get right into the picks. The bans. First pick going to the Sentinel team, that is UE. They're banning off the Batrider, the Ancient Apparition, the Invoker. The only sort of counterban was the Ancient Apparition, which we did see in Game 1 being used by EXE. This game it's banned. As far as the Scourge team, EXE are concerned, they banned the Prophet, the Weaver, the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon a must ban when you don't have first pick. It's just such an imber hero. Weaver and Prophet, not so much must ban heroes, but definitely top picks. Prophet especially a top hero in European Dota, although UE are from Brazil. I don't think EXE know quite what to expect from them strategy-wise, so they're just going to be banning heroes they don't want to verse or see being picked up early by UE, and the Weaver, no real explanation needed there, but just such an annoying hard-to-kill hero. But once again, we're going to see UE first pick that Lich, and this, once again, completely agree with this as a first pick. It's just such a strong strategic hero. I think we are going to see it up against the Anti-Mage once again, but last game it didn't quite work out. It did deny quite a bit of farm from Anti-Mage, but Anti-Mage still just managed to find farm on the map. Still got a really fast Vanguard up, but didn't farm as fast as an Anti-Mage normally would with free farm. I mean, he had free farm, but he didn't get his items up as fast as he normally would. But the reason he got so farm was because they just pushed towers, put so much pressure on the other lanes with the Windrunner and the Brood, and that's how Anti-Mage got farmed. And once again, seeing an Anti-Mage being picked up by EXE, they pick up that as well as the Earthshaker. Earthshaker used by them last game, so once again, they are sticking with what has worked, the Earthshaker Anti-Mage combo, and that's what's worked for them. And what do we see in return from UE? The Brazilians, they're going to go with an Obsidian Destroyer. What more needs to be said? Obsidian Destroyer is such a massive hero if he can get the farm that's needed to have the impact in this game. And we are going to see that picked up with the Vengeful Spirit, a very, very solid, reliable support hero. And having a VS and Lich, you're not going to see those two heroes trialing together very often. It is going to be Lich soloing that top lane by the looks of it, or at least dual laning that top lane like we saw last game. And we are going to have the Obsidian Destroyer probably soloing that middle lane. As far as the Scourge team are concerned, they retaliate with a Night Stalker. So Night Stalker, they're going to be their aggressive ganking hero. They're going to try and keep this OD down, not let him get too much farm, especially early on. If he can get that 4-star up early, go into a Hex. Hex, a great counter Anti-Mage, and it's going to come down to an Anti-Mage versus OD fight. And OD does do fairly well against an Anti-Mage. Sure, he's an intel hero, but he can do well in that battle because he just has such high, he basically regens, basically you mana drain him, but he gets that mana back from his passive, which basically regens his mana. So Anti-Mage can't rely on his ultimate against OD, but what Anti-Mage does get in that fight is the added damage from feedback. The mana drain damage is added damage basically, so bonus damage. So you do quite a bit of damage to OD, but you've got to be careful because if you get hexed, see you later. We're definitely going to be seeing Anti-Mage go for Manta style just to give OD a hard time. But once again, OD does a lot of damage to those Anti-Mage illusions, so still going to be hard. It's one of those fights where I think OD has a slight edge. It's going to come down to the supporting cast. And what have we got there? We've got an ES on the Scourge team as well as a Night Stalker. We've got the VS with the swap, which can be very useful for getting OD out of the bad positions, and Lich with the Frost Armor can help him slow down that Anti-Mage and take less damage. We're not going to skip too far ahead, guys. I know you see these picks. I see them too, but we're not going to comment yet because I like to go chronologically rather than jump ahead and see how things fit together. You've got to take it step by step. It's a bit of a puzzle in that sense. Looking at the bans, UE had the second stage of bans. They went first. They banned the Puck and the Witch Doctor. They obviously banned the Witch Doctor as a supporting comboer for the Earthshaker. I mean, with the Vengeful Spirit and Lich gone, what exactly is left? There's a Crystal Maiden left in the pool, and we're going to see that that's actually going to be their last pick, is that last support hero, and probably a Crystal Maiden, possibly even a jungle hero like an Enigma or something, but they haven't got much range at the moment. They need some kiting power, which is maybe what we're going to see there. But the Puck, that's the side lane solo that they don't want to be up against, and they are going to force EXE into picking that Brood once again, which worked so well last game. As far as EXE are concerned, with their second bans, they banned the Lycanthrope as well as the Omni Knight, and nothing too out of the ordinary there. The Lycan is a very powerful pushing carry hero, which would give OD a lot of room to farm. Of course. And wow, I don't even get to finish talking about the bans, the picks. Come on, guys, give me more time. As well as among other things. And yeah, Lycan, no surprises there seeing that ban, because that would give OD a lot of room to farm if it was actually pushing towers. But what we are going to see instead is the Slardar being picked up, and I like this. The Slardar OD combo, I've seen it used by MUFC, where they have Sharky playing the Slardar, and then they would have Silvercross playing the OD, although Silvercross not playing with them anymore. But this is a very MUFC-like draft. MUFC, this draft just is something MUFC would do. They would pick the Chen to go in jungle. They'd have a Slardar VS laning together at the safe lane. They'd have a Lich soloing the tough lane up against something like an Anti-Mage, and this is a really, really scary looking draft. Lich is going to deny so much farm from this top lane, and EXE are going to have a tri-lane against a solo hero. They're going to waste so much time beating a Lich, and that could be, I don't know about bad for them, but it's definitely going to be some wasted efforts there. We are going to see Vengeful Spirit looking... Oh, Vengeful Spirit unfortunately does not get to ward this pull spot. If they can pull here, that's going to give them some... That's going to really allow them to actually beat the Lich. But without the pull, the Lich will beat a tri-lane. But what they do know is this Vengeful Spirit. With this Obsword, they will spot him going in, and what they are going to do is just put an Obsword here in the jungle. It would have been a lot better if he blocked the pull, but I think Vengeful Spirit was just too scared to venture any further, and is just going to put that there to help the Lich stay alive. And that will definitely help him out, but they do have that smoke which they can avoid that Obsword with if necessary. And mid lane we're going to have the Obscene Destroyer soloing mid up against the Night Stalker. Obscene Destroyer obviously with the ranged harass and last hit advantage has really nice base damage. Night Stalker going to be the one looking for that bottle, controlling the runes. Okay, apparently he's not in the channel. 1-1 says the VS. Oh, I like that. We're going to remake quickly. Host UE versus... Who are they versing? EXE. Remake. Of course. I knew that, guys. I knew that. And bottom lane is going to be the Vengeful Spirit Slardar up against the Broodmother. It's similar to what you saw last game, where they had a dual lane against the Brood. Last game was a Vengeful Spirit Silverbear. This game, Slardar, he needs to get that level 6 early, so he can have the amp damage on the Brood. So maybe we're going to see Vengeful Spirit just harassing, sitting in that jungle, trying to give as much solo experience to the Slardar as possible, so Slardar can get to level 6 ASAP. Because once they get level 6 Slardar, they can deal with the Brood really, really well. Until then, they're going to have to rely on probably a set of Sentry Wards, which we will see Vengeful Spirit getting at level 1 once again. Oops, wrong room. Whoopsie. Okay, I'm going to unhost that. Host UE this EXE to remake. And here we go. Here's the correct room. And yeah, I'm hoping for a UE comeback here in Game 2, guys. It was Such a well-fought game by U in Game 1. They were behind. They struggled in the early game, but they played so fantastic. Come mid to late game, they really brought it together, especially Beastmaster Dommy, that captain with that early gem, really brought the team together. You could see they wanted to win. They were fighting to stay in the match. I mean, obviously they're still in the tournament. They've still got Game 2 and Game 3 coming their way, but I mean, they're going to have to fight hard for this if they are going to want to take this series, and I think they can do it. I believe in the Brazilians. I would love to see a Brazilian team in the final here against a Malaysian team. I mean, you're just like, if you look at this GosuCup, predominantly European teams, and you get to the final and it's Brazil versus Malaysia. Like, who could have guessed that? I mean, most people were probably expecting teams like Monkey in the finals, Creamy Center, which is actually basically all the old MYM players, all these teams to actually make it through the final, not to mention teams like Virus who are in the tournament, Panzer who are in the tournament. These teams have been knocked out, and we are going to get underway. And I do need to do latency, so before I actually keep on talking, the game is starting. My multitasking is just so terrible. I'll start talking, I'll forget to do something else. I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. So before I start rambling again, I'm going to type latency. Latency 40, guys. That's stuck in my head. Oh no. Latency 40. Is it AP? AP. Do the AP, guys. And we are going to get into Game 2 here. As once again, guys, sorry for the little break, the remake. It's going to ruin my VOD. That makes me so upset. Well, it's not going to so much as ruin it. Just add a little part for all the viewers to just skip on over. Looking at what we've got here, introducing our teams for the Roccat GosuCup. This is semi-final number 2. Semi-final number 1 was won by MUFC. They're waiting the winner of this match in the grand finals for the $2,500. Introducing your two teams here on the Scourge team. Once again, going backwards. Who cares about going left to right? Sentinel to Scourge. We're going to start with the Scourge team. We have got EXE, the German boys, playing the Crystal Main. We've got Move, playing the Antimage. We've got Duke, playing the Earthshaker. We have got the Eid, playing the Nightstalker, soloing that middle lane. We have got Leet, and at the bottom lane, playing the Brewmother, once again, is Rice. And introducing your Sentinel team, the boys from Brazil, the unexpected, the dark horses of this tournament. We've got Chen being played by Dommy. We have got, moving over to the Slider, we have got BRTT is on the fire. G playing the Slider at mid lane. Obsidian Destroyer being played by EXE. And going into the top lane, soloing that top lane is Fire G. 4DR played the Lich last game, was having some lag problems. Hopefully he can do okay here. But when it comes down to it, he's just there to deny creeps, get some XP. If he doesn't die, and he denies as many creeps as possible, he's done his job. And finally, playing the Vengeful Spirit once again is Diaz. So a lot of these Sentinel UE players playing the same heroes. Well, the Vengeful Spirit and the Lich. Chen obviously new to this lineup. Dommy was playing the Beastmaster last game. This game playing the Chen. He's their captain. And great to see him on hero like Chen, who can have such a huge strategic impact on this game. Unfortunately, no, I cannot play music while we're waiting. We are not waiting anymore, guys. This is action here, guys. Dota action here, and we are going to see. Wow, Obsword, where is the Vengeful Spirit? He hasn't actually planted the other Obsword at top. Last game he put the Obsword here. I'd love to see him run immediately top lane to block this pull, because if Lich gets that pull blocked, Lich can win this top lane against the tri lane. He can just deny the way back to his tower, and if they can't pull the way back. But with this pull option available to EXE, they can actually still win this top lane and beat the Lich, which is unfortunate. But mid lane, we're going to see Obsidian Destroyer up against the Nightstalker, and Obsidian Destroyer with a clear last hit harass advantage there. Has the higher base damage, at least I think so. 57, 61, I mean, if you look at the average, Nightstalker with slightly higher, but Obsidian Destroyer, as soon as he starts banishing the Nightstalker, he's going to steal intel and get more and more base damage. So he does have the, he will have the slight advantage there. We're going to see Vengeful Spirit with an early Invis Rune, CM backing out the mid lane, Vengeful Spirit coming in with the Invis Rune, maybe going to go on the CM. There's a Frostbite. We're going to see a nuke as well. That's a lot of harass coming off. Vengeful Spirit needs to go in soon if he is going to go in. Decides against it, but a lot of harass was dealt to the OD. I think OD maybe going to look to bait here. They're going to try bait this CM. VS Invis still lasting quite a while longer. So the Invis is wearing off now. There's one more banish. There's a nuke coming out. VS, where are you? You need to go in soon. The CM is going to be the target, I imagine. CM getting low on mana here, but VS just taking too long. The Invis, I imagine, is worn off. Here comes Chen. The creep is coming. Is the Ensnare going to be? Needs some block. There's the Ensnare. CM in so much trouble here. Going to go down the first blood here. One more hit. OD gets the first blood at mid. Move goes down. EXE, the Obsidian Destroyer, picks it up, and that is absolutely huge, huge stuff from from UE as they get off to a huge early advantage, and Obsidian just rigging that first blood's going to see him getting up some early treads, I imagine, and that is absolutely scary. Meanwhile, top lane, Lich actually getting experience in this solo lane, and the ES just doing some creep pulling here, trying to try to pull that wave back, but ES Anti-Mage 2 melee here is not going to be able to do a whole lot on the Lich. Sure, the Anti-Mage can blink and give Lich a couple hits, but Lich will just run away every time Anti-Mage blinks in, and just Dark Ritual that mana back, but he is going to need to use up quite a few Tangos, maybe going to need some salves in this lane if he does get constantly harassed. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Slardar versus Brood. I mean, clear advantage there to the Brood if it is going to be a 1v1 matchup, but we're going to see these Sentinel support heroes coming in to help, I imagine. They've got Sentry Wards on the Chen, and that's going to be Brood in trouble if those two heroes do go looking for a gank, which I imagine they will soon. So right now, I'm loving how UE have laned this. I think they've got a huge advantage in the lanes, not to mention the mid to late game heroes. They've got Slardar who can counter the Broodmother, as well as the Anti-Mage. I mean, amp damage is a great skill to have against an Anti-Mage, as well as a Brood. Anti-Mage, if he can get taken out by physical damage, it's much better than spell damage because he's got that 50% spell resistance from the spell shield, and it is a nice little counter pick. I love seeing this Slardar here, and not to mention the OD who will be going for that sheep stick. And wow, this is absolutely fantastic stuff coming from UE so far, as they are, I think they have outstratted their opponents, but they've still got to outplay them here, as we will see Anti-Mage getting farm at top lane. He's not going to get as much farm as he'd like because of this Lich Dark Ritual Deny, but he will be able to get quite a bit, and it is going to be uncontested. He's not going to be in any danger at all, especially with this ES nearby, just to protect him here. And we are going to see, Lich needs to be careful. He hasn't got much creep support. These creeps are going to be very close to him soon, but that's actually good news, as he's going to start getting level 3, level 4 with this creeps safely at his tower where he can actually farm. But no, wow, EXE with a well-timed creep pull here. This actually double spawns. It's not going to, unfortunately. If that had double spawned, that would have been absolutely huge for them. Anti-Mage, yes, he's going to get that big creep. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Sentry Ward is down. Brood didn't actually get ganked or taken out by the gank there. We're probably going to see a smoke gank from the VS and Chen, but right now they're both neutraling in different locations. I like this because it means they're both getting experience, they're both getting gold. Sentinel getting a lot of basically global experience. I mean, not so much global experience, but they're getting XP on all their heroes. Rather than seeing a level 1 or level 2 VS already level 3, going to be going for an early point in Commandor, which is also very unique and something which I like to see. Ooh, no, that's some miss micro there by Domi, unless he wanted that Dark Troll to die. I imagine he was just trying to have it die, but I don't think he wanted to feed that gold to the Broodmother. So, not the best result there from the Chen, but he is going to pick up another creep. He goes for a Frost Armor creep. He needs something like a Centaur or an Ursa Warrior, something with some ganking power right now. These defensive creeps is not what they want. They need to be aggressive in this bottom lane, but meanwhile, top lane, Fissure, Anti-Mage, they've gone on the Lich. Lich has those boots, so that's going to allow him to escape fairly easily. He's actually trying to kite the Anti-Mage unsuccessfully, somewhat lagging I imagine, but more importantly, Anti-Mage looking to just be so aggressive at this top lane, keep Lich away, stop him from denying too many creeps. Lich actually doesn't have mana to use that Dark Ritual at the moment, and if Lich is too low HP at this tower, we could see another Fissure coming in, and Anti-Mage looking to pick up the kill, although until he gets that level 6 ultimate, may be hard for him. Meanwhile, mid lane, how is this OD? Oh, I can't actually see the CS. What is this, guys? This is absolutely nonsense. For some reason I don't have. Oh, someone actually typed OI, which means if you type OI, you lose the observer information. It's a pain. Anyways, we're going to do it manually. 17 CS on OD, 25 on Slardar. So OD not doing as well as he'd like, despite the early first blood. But that's because CM has basically been dual laning middle. CM knew this Night Stalker was not going to be able to beat 8 OD, so has been sitting mid, and as a result, Night Stalker actually sitting on 15 CS, does have that Urn of Shadows up fairly early, and bottom lane, VS Chen looking for a tier 1 tower push. Chen actually stealing a ghoul. When you're a Chen, you can only steal 1 creep at level 4, and using it on a ghoul just shows how much they want to push. Chen with no creep around says, hey, I don't care, I'm just going to take a ghoul, and they're going to get at least 1 tower here. They're going to probably go push onto the tier 2 tower, meanwhile, mid lane, OD picks up a solo kill, I imagine with his ultimate. Yes, it was. Holy crap. And that is some epic stuff coming out from the OD, completely missed by myself. Forget the fact this is such a late point in the tournament where the casters should be spot on with all these kills, but no. Here I am, snoozing at bottom lane, watching a ghoul push a tower. A converted ghoul push a tower. Well, meanwhile, there's actually an Obsidian Destroyer getting a solo kill. I mean, obviously my prote's messed up, but here we see OD getting ganked. CM, ES coming in. Gonna need a few more damage. Then Magic Stick gonna keep this OD alive. He banishes himself. I don't think he wanted to do that. That's gonna allow Night Stalker to catch up and use another nuke. I think he could, if he'd banished that Night Stalker, he could have lived. EXE capitalizing on the OD's mistake there, and really punching him. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Slardar about to hit level 6. As soon as he does, that amp damage is going to pop onto their Brood, and that's going to allow Brood to be in a bit of danger if the VS Chen ganking squad do come in. They've got smoke. Chen, I imagine, looking for that level 5 though, and we're going to see ES maybe even swinging bottom just to back up this Brood, because now that Slardar is level 6, it's going to be danger at bottom lane. And everyone in IC channel, I am neutral, but I am pro Dota, and as someone who wants more Dota, as this is game 2, EXE won game 1. It means if I want a game 3, UE have to win game 2. So I'm hoping UE win this game, and I'm hoping game 3 is epic. And meanwhile, mid lane, we're going to see a gank coming out. Slardar has come all the way mid. They want this Night Stalker, but it's nighttime. He's so fast, but who's faster? Slardar during night is faster with sprint than the Night Stalker. He must not have too many points in that speed skill, and a great, well-placed fissure is going to keep this ESCM alive. Holy crap, that fissure was absolutely sensational. Both ES and CM would both have died if not for that fissure. So, an absolutely huge match-deciding fissure. Not so much match-deciding, but just an absolutely crucial fissure there by the ES. And Eid playing once again a absolutely spot-on Earthshaker, not missing a beat with those fissures. And EXE really playing some awesome stuff awesome Dota here, especially the Earthshaker there, saving both himself and the Crystal Maiden. And we are going to see this T1 tower going down at mid, and UE getting a bigger gold advantage as they take their second tower, but they are going to see their bottom T1 tower going down, and Anti-Mage maybe looking to even pressure this top T1 tower, which is getting quite low, and Anti-Mage does have that Vanguard up, so Anti-Mage with quite a bit of farm, hasn't started his treads, but 8-minute Vanguard, nothing shabby about that, some good farm on him, and we'll have those boots up soon because of that T1 tower push at bottom by the Brood, and Brood going to pick up some treads, I imagine now, does have enough gold for those, and will buy those treads, and this looks like a pushing with pushing of your own. We're going to see this Sentinel UE squad pushing towers down together as a unit, while EXE play it smart. They're not going to look to fight and defend the push. They're just going to be pushing those side lanes of their own. If UE go to push top, EXE will go push bottom. If UE go to push bottom, then EXE will push top with the Anti-Mage. They have a hero in both lanes to actually do some pushing, and we do see Brood, Night Stalker pick up a kill. Chen goes down. This VS could be next if he's not careful, and we're going to see Night Stalker catch up. Does have a nuke, has those earn charges as well. The spawn Spiderling goes, and not Night Stalker. It's going to be Brood who picks up the last hit. I thought that earn charge was going to get it, but no, it is not, and Slardar is on the chase. So Night Stalker does have one nuke in a second here. There's a Lich ultimate, going to bounce around, takes out one. Brood gonna be invis and not get amp damage, gonna keep himself alive there, but Slardar with those treads, ring of health, stout shield, just needs a vitality booster, and he will have that Vanguard, and he is only 200 gold away from it. That's gonna be a huge boost to his survivability. And wow, this game is just so close at the moment. I think UE with a slight advantage with this OD getting some decent farm. He does have the 1 death, I believe, but 3 kills, 30 CS, 37 CS on Slardar. Anti-Mage with 42 CS is leading the pack. Brood with 34. So very even for both teams in terms of farm. But UE at the moment pushing that with the 1 tower lead, as well as the 2 hero kill lead, do have a slight lead, but it's just so close here, and Night Stalker is making full advantage of this first night, is actually not going to get this silence off. The silence comes later, but Anti-Mage says, thank you very much, just pops the ultimate, and Night Stalker thinks about going for the Vengeful Spirit, but Chen on the ball, going to send the VS back to base, keep him alive, and we do see a TP going bottom by the Slardar, so looking for this Brood, does have the Dust, is going to sprint in. This Brood going to be in so much trouble here. The Dust gets popped, there's the amp damage, the Nova as well. Brood, the Spiderlings, the Ghoul actually blocking the Slardar. The amp damage is probably going to be enough for Slardar to at least follow the Brood, but those webs give Brood so much movement speed, and he's going to pop another one, give him more movement speed, dodges the Slardar stun. Holy crap. Meanwhile, Chen goes down, I think that was at top lane, and Brood surviving. Those webs give so much movement speed, it makes it so ridiculous out. Even a max movement speed Slardar, I don't actually know if he has max movement speed, I'm not sure what level that sprint is, but even a Slardar with sprint could not catch the Brood, and I cannot believe that Brood actually survived that, and Slardar's going to be really disappointed. He bought that Dust just for that kill, and that was a lot of wasted time for Slardar. He's going to go back and farm now, but he just wasted a lot of time chasing around a Brood, not getting any kills, not even doing any damage or just scaring the Brood away, but just wasted his own time. And mid lane we are going to see Lich getting very low, a spawn Spiderling beast being used as well. Lich gonna have to go back and heal. Lich does have those early treads. Going for treads instead of instead of phase boots, just because he wants the HP instead of the mobility. Definitely, probably a good decision against heroes like Anti-Mage, as well as Brood, who do some pretty big nukes. And EXE, though, they are just, once again, they're getting farm. Nightstalker with treads and Urn. Anti-Mage does have those treads up now as well. So if this game goes like last game, we're going to see a very, very scary Anti-Mage who is going to have a big impact on the game. Meanwhile, Earthshaker just farming some neutrals, going to get up those arcane boots, which he does now have enough gold for, and that's going to allow him to have a much more spamming capability. He has the CM aura as well, so with those arcane boots we'll be able to have a much bigger impact on these upcoming fights, and even support his teammates who are quite mana dependent, like the Nightstalker. With 364 mana, you can only really use 2 nukes and 1 silence, so having an arcane boots in your team is going to be huge there. And bottom lane Brood just doing his thing, solo pushing, and I love how EXE are structuring their strategy. They've got Brood solo pushing bottom, Anti-Mage not so much as pushing top, but solo farming it. So basically, UE can either stop the Brood push or stop the Anti-Mage farm. It's hard for them to do both. I mean, they can send a couple heroes top, a couple heroes bottom, but then what happens? Well, Nightstalker starts ganking. If they're split up half and half, well, Nightstalker can gank either bottom or top, and he's pretty much guaranteed kills, because UE need to have 3-4 heroes together to actually stop the Nightstalker CM ES from ganking. But if they're split up 2 top, 2 bottom, well then it's easy kills for the Nightstalker as well as the CM ES ganking squad. But here we're going to see Anti-Mage gets found. 1 stun. Is there a Centaur Stomp? Not going to come. Anti-Mage probably going to blink out here. He has been amp damaged, but will get out here. He is just so tanky with treads and Vanguard. Only took about 600 damage there, which is half his HP, but that's with an amp damage on him, as well as getting stunned by the Slardar. I don't think the Centaur Stun actually hit. Actually, I think the Centaur was out of mana, so getting mana burned by the Anti-Mage. So, very, very even game at the moment. 5-5 on kills, and we are going to see a big, big push coming out from the Scourge team at bottom. I keep thinking Radiant Dire. What are all these Dota 2 teams here? And Brood, Nightstalker, CM, they're going on this OD. OD going to pop the ultimate banish. The Brood, is he going to live? No, he's not. The Brood, the CM actually getting the last hit, and they want this Lich as well. Lich has already popped the ultimate. A couple more nukes coming out. There's the Frostbite. Nightstalker doesn't have the mana, but has the movement speed, the earned damages. Will be able to take out this Lich fairly comfortably, I imagine. Gets the kill there. 2 kills at bottom. They're going to get a tier 2 tower. That's absolutely huge for EXE as they get another tower. And we are going to save, which I haven't done all game. So last game I was on the ball, saving every like 5 minutes, but no, here, whoop, haven't saved all game. It's all good, guys. And we are going to see this tier 2 tower go down, I believe. Brood with those Spiderlings has so much pushing capabilities. Top lane, Anti-Mage is going to be able to defend this. It's just a... for Vengeful Spirit and Chen, and well, I mean, Chen could be in a bit of danger here. I mean, they are going to scare this Anti-Mage off with just pure damage, but Chen has no mana at all. If Anti-Mage turns around, gets an ultimate off in a couple hits, Chen would be in a lot of danger, but Vengeful Spirit... well, Vengeful Spirit actually out of mana. Chen could get taken out here, maybe, if Anti-Mage is... maybe needs to mana drain this. Centaur has 1 stun, so it is going to be able to stun the Anti-Mage and probably prevent Anti-Mage from going in, but Chen just going to back off quite smartly so, because I mean that Anti-Mage is scary. If he gets an ultimate off on a zero mana Chen, it's going to do it's level 2 ultimate. No, it's actually level 1, so it's not going to do too much damage. It'll do about 300 damage. But it definitely is fairly significant, and we are going to see Chen possibly getting some Arcane Boots here, or just going straight for that mech. It is useful having Arcane Boots against an Anti-Mage. Sure, it's more mana for him to burn and do added damage, but you need to regen mana after he goes on you. So your teammates also need that added mana, so his ultimate just does less damage, and they can use their spells. I mean, if he mana drains the Vengeful Spirit and VS can't stun the Anti-Mage, then VS is useless. So having those mana boots on your team is essential. Even against an Anti-Mage, it's just one of those items you just have to get. And we are going to see Obscene Destroyer going for that 4 stuff, not making use of that early first blood, only level 9. Obscene Destroyer at the moment just under-leveled, under-farmed, and that's going to be bad news for UE, as I think EXE are slowly taking a slight lead here because of this OD being just under-farmed, under-leveled. The Slardar is doing well. He did have that easy farm at the bottom lane, much like the Anti-Mage had at top, but OD at middle is just not doing as well as this Nightstalker. Nightstalker having a huge impact on the game with some very, very successful roaming. What's his kill death score? He's 2 kills, 3 deaths, so quite a few deaths, but that was because of a lot of pressure being put on him, but 5 assists, so he's been involved in 7 of the 7 kills. Wow, he's been involved in every single kill, so that's absolutely huge stuff coming out of him. And what was that, a Vlad? We're going to see a Vlad's first unwon Chen, which is An interesting item choice, I think, is because Lich is going for the mech. Yeah, Lich is going to be going for the mech, so Chen stops going for that, and is going to be going for Vlad's instead, which is a very, very useful item because of the plus armor aura, the damage aura, and the mana regen aura. Just a great, great team item, and that is going to be coming up on the Chen fairly quickly by the looks of it. He's only 80 gold away, so we're going to be seeing that fairly soon. Chen needs to rebuild that creep army, though, as it does look like his centaur actually getting taken out by the Brood. The Wildkin and the Satyr Hellclaw also in trouble. His Spiderlings blocking him, surrounding him. Gonna see it get taken out as well. And Brood picking off 2 of those Chen creeps means he has to go find some more creeps. Chen going to pick up that Vlad's as well, but is still quite squishy. He does have the bonus armor. He's going to see a Frost armor on these heroes as well. And Night Stalker with an Invis Root has an Ogre Axe. Going to be going for a BKB or an Ag Scepter. Not sure which. Silence, Nuke, Brood goes in as well. This OD going to go down very, very quickly. He can't banish himself right away because of that Silence. He is going to get that banish off eventually, but going to get taken out. One more Night Stalker Nuke or just some Brood with auto attacks. We'll see him get taken out. So, holy crap. This is some great play coming out from EXE in the last 10 minutes. They had a slow start. I mean, it looked like Yui had an early game advantage, taking a couple of early towers. Slardar getting some nice early items, as well as OD getting that first blood. But now, EXE playing really well as a team, and their teamwork is keeping them in this game. Well, not so much as keeping them in this game, but getting them a nice little lead here, as they do get up by 3 kills. They're up by I believe a tier 2. They've taken... No, sorry, it's 3 to 3 towers, but they've taken a tier 2 tower, which does give more gold and is more useful in a strategic sense, not letting UE have that tower to TP to. So taking a tier 2 tower, much better than taking a tier 1 tower. And this tier 1 tower, though, is going to cause some problems when UE do need to reinforce heroes that are pushing, because they can just TP so far out from their base, whereas EXE can only TP as far as a tier 2 tower. Sorry, as far as a tier 1 tower, not... Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting my tier 1 and tier 2s mixed up. Anyways, we're going to move on. So, Night Stalker ESCM, they are looking to take out the last tier 1 tower. Night Stalker going to get in trouble. He doesn't have that ultimate. He used it at bottom. ES Blink. Was that a Blink? Yes, ES not going for those Arcane Boots. He got a Blink. I said Arcane Boots. I was completely wrong. He gets a huge Blink ultimate off. Double kill for EXE. 3 go down. ES picking up 2, sorry, CM picking up 2. The last one was actually picked up by the Night Stalker. Night Stalker surviving on red HP. Where did that ES Blink come from? Apparently, I don't know what I'm looking for here. I'm just completely missed the fact. ES has a Blink Dagger, didn't even go for those Arcane Boots, has the CM Aura as well as a Magic Stick, and he says, hey, I don't need more mana, and ES Night Stalker just so low, but they want to keep on going in. The Slardar, though, needs to get this ES out. The stun from ES, can he get him? He needs the sprint, needs to catch up. He's got the sprint now, and ES going to be in trouble here. Going to be looking for a Blink. He does, in fact, Blink. Slardar going to keep chasing. Meanwhile, over here, Lich, Night Stalker cancels his TP just to get the kill. Slardar coming back in, stops chasing the Earthshaker, and is going to be going for this Night Stalker. Night Stalker will go down. That's a much more important kill than this Earthshaker, although he may be able to get both because the Night Stalker, his TP was on cooldown. Could have chased the Earthshaker, come back, but the Night Stalker was definitely the more important kill. And Anti-Mage at top is just getting more and more farmed. Has the Yasha up. Going to be going for that Manta Style very, very soon. Has the recipe. Just needs an ultimate orb. He's 1k gold away from it. And when he gets that Manta Style, he's going to have so much pushing power. Going to be able to get rid of the amp damage. Slardar loves to amp damage that Anti-Mage to make him easier to kill. And we are going to save once again. Oh, no, that's not how you save. And another save coming out, guys, as we are getting deeper and deeper into this game too, and EXE just playing such smart teamwork here, some smart Dota from them. The Earthshaker is, wow, he is the most valuable player right now for EXE. He's just made some incredible moves. The fissure at mid where he saved himself as well as the CM. That Blink ultimate setting up 3 kills. I'm sure the fight didn't go as well as they'd like after that when they lost the Night Stalker, but it started off so well because of that Earthshaker and some great play coming out from him. Vengeful Spirit doing some defensive warding here. Gonna spot the Broodmother only for a second before he does go back in Viz. And we are gonna have some dust up on the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit going for Medallion for the added minus armor. I like this because they're gonna need a lot of minus armor if they are to take down this Anti-Mage. Not to mention the Night Stalker. If they can get the Night Stalker chain stunned, having the minus armor from amp damage as well as the Medallion is going to make him quite killable. And VS, use the dust. There we go. There's the dust. This stun barely finds the Brood. Maybe going to need a banish. The swap. Anything is a silence. Wow. Brood has farmed a silence stick once again. Brood going to get stunned. A very, very well placed Centaur Stomp. And Brood goes down the bottom lane. pretty much the entire Sentinel team devoting their attention to that gank, apart from the Slardar, but the rest of the team was there, and Scourge looking for a counter gank. Nightstalker comes in with a nuke, a silence on the Slardar. ES, a well-timed ultimate. Fissure, the 3 heroes all solo. Chen with the heal just in time. Do they have a mech up? I don't think they do. Odie forces himself into the river. It's a huge ultimate. Double kill for the Chen. That is absolutely massive, and 4 EXE heroes do go down, and Odie is unfortunately stuck. How did he get himself there? I don't know, but that was a massive fight. I thought the ES ultimate was going to be enough, but the Chen got the heal off at the perfect time. That is why you pick Chen against an AoE lineup. And without that Ancient Apparition to stop those heals, last game you saw the Ancient Apparition being used with the Earthshaker. This game, Ancient Apparition being banned in the first 3 picks was absolutely crucial, because it meant that UE could go with the Chen to have those heal, have the Chen ultimate heal, not to mention the mech up, which I don't know if it's quite up, but Lich was definitely going for a mech. Lich was not quite have enough gold for that mech, but once they get that mech, as well as the heal on Chen, that's going to basically negate all of Earthshaker's damage. The key is they have to actually... The Chen can't get chain stunned, else he won't get the ultimate off. They have to get the mech and Chen heal off before they actually die, but if they can do that, they have a huge, huge chance to win these upcoming fights, and it's going to basically make that ES Blink Dagger not as useful as you think it can be. And Slardar with an armlet. Wow, armlet on Slardar. This is absolutely some crazy stuff coming out of UE here. Stuff I've never seen before in competitive Dota. Well, I think I have seen armlet before, by I can't remember who. I think it was Loader playing Slardar last time I saw him get an armlet. Chain stuns coming out from VS. Slardar, the amp damage as well. Can Slardar keep up? There's a great swap, but this Fissure is even better, and it's going to block them with the help of these Treants, and wow, another crucial Fissure from this Earthshaker, keeping his teammates alive. And he is only level 8. This is the problem with the Earthshaker at the moment. He's just underleveled. He's got the Blink ultimate combo, but he's underleveled. He doesn't have many points in his Aftershock. He doesn't have many. He only has the level 1 ultimate, which isn't going to make him do a whole lot of damage. Meanwhile, bot and top, once again, EXE playing this so smart. They're not actually defending the push coming out of UE directly. They're defending it by pushing top with Anti-Mage and bottom with Brood. So basically UE have to say, well, we can't keep pushing because we're going to lose both bottom and top. We've got to TP back, defend, try kill Anti-Mage or try kill Brood, and that's just so hard to do when Anti-Mage has Blink, Manta Style, Brood has webs to keep him invis, and is going to have a BKB out fairly soon. But meanwhile, mid lane Slardar picks up another kill. ES getting taken out. How do they do it? Let's have a little look. I actually don't know. No ultimates on cooldown. Does Slardar have a Blink Dagger yet? It does not, but they are going to go for Roche here by the looks of it. And this Chen Vlad is going to be so useful. Give so much added survivability. Not to mention the added damage from the aura. Although I don't think it actually stacks with the. Does it stack with the VS? I'm not sure if it actually stacks with the VS. We're gonna have to go with some game mechanics pros to figure that one out. Anti-Mage's coming in too late. Slardar picks up the Aegis. Brood, they're going on the Slardar. Little bit, they should know he has the Aegis. They shouldn't be focusing him down. He is completely out of mana, so he's not going to be able to do much in this fight. Pops the armlet to save himself. ES ultimate used just to kill the Slardar. That could be a waste. Meanwhile, Domi the Chen picks up one. Move goes down. Slardar now full mana, full HP. Going to come in, going to take out this ES, imagine, fairly easily. No, ES actually gets a stun off, and Brood chasing down the Chen needs to get out. Can he do it? OD doesn't have a sheep stick up at the moment. Fissure takes out the Chen, but meanwhile, Brood in so much trouble. The amp damage on him, following him around, and Nightstalker going to be the next one in the firing range, and Nova comes out from the Lich, going to slow the Nightstalker. Despite it being nighttime, he cannot escape, and UE staying in this game. They get into the lead, picking up 4 kills there, and this is going to see them pushing their advantage. They're going to go on. They want this tier 3 tower now. Anti-Mate's the only one alive, and he is half HP, doesn't have any mana. Going to have to heal up before he can defend. Crystal Maiden has respawned though, but can they defend with just these 2 heroes? They do have one respawning soon. It's the Earthshaker. Earthshaker with no ultimate though. It's on cooldown for almost 100 seconds, and wow, this is really coming down to the wire. Venture Spirit is not there. He's just defending top. They haven't got the Chen, but Chen can maybe heal. No, Chen cannot heal. I spoke too soon. It's on cooldown for another 70 seconds, and EXE will be slowly respawning. They probably have Glyph at the moment, so they may be able to defend this Rax. We may see them lose the tower, but I think UE are just going to back off here because EXE, they're all back in a second, and they don't want to make any mistakes which may cost them the game, as we will see. Slardar going for a BKB next. I like this item choice because ES just keeps on stunning him. Every time he goes in, ES just even just that enchant totem on the Slardar basically buys ES time to blink away. So if Slardar goes to kill ES and he just enchant totems and blinks, well, Slardar can't do it. So seeing something like a BKB followed by a blink dagger on Slardar could be a very, very useful set of items here, and really looking forward to see how this Slardar works with this armlet. He's doing so much damage at the moment because of that armlet, added damage, added HP in these fights, and it is actually working out really well against the Anti-Mage and Night Stalker combo. And we are going to see Night Stalker running, going to find this Slardar. Slardar gets silenced. The Fissure gonna block him. I think it does. He can't actually it that way. He's gonna have to run this other way. And CM gonna come in with a Frostbite in a second. And Slardar gonna have to try to use that armor to keep himself alive a bit longer. Anti-Mage finds him though, and Slardar gets taken out. That's a huge pick-off by EXE. And can they use that to their advantage? Can they find some towers to push? Can they find some more pick-offs? Can they find some racks? I mean, dare to dream. Come on, guys. Dare to dream. And this is just constant aggression from both teams now. The early game was a bit slow. Both teams trying to get their early game items, their core items up. But now it's just constant push from one team, push from the other. And both teams just doing all they can to react. There we saw the Slardar getting picked off because of this nice Crystal Maiden ward, spotting him there. And we are going to see EXE pushing bottom by the looks of it, as they do have the Obscene Destroyer at that top lane. But he needs a Sheep Stick up before he can do a whole lot in these upcoming fights. Without a Sheep Stick on this OD, they are going to be in a bit of trouble. Although Slardar, at the moment, Slardar is carrying them through. But what they really need is that Sheep Stick on the Obscene Destroyer. Until that point, they are still going to keep on struggling a little bit to fight this Anti-Mage and Brood, as well as even the Night Stalker. These three tanky, they're all melee heroes, so OD does so well against melee heroes, but he does need a Sheep Stick and possibly a Shiver's Guard as well after that. We are going to see Chen send in this Centaur, look for a Stomp, needs to use it before it gets mana drained. It's actually going to lose all its mana, gets Frost Armored, but the Tornado creeps as well. Double Tornado, holding off the push here. The Slardar is now back, and this Scourge team, I don't think they want to fight this. I mean, Anti-Mage only has a Manta Style, and Night Stalker actually going to TP top. Night Stalker needs to go farm. Night Stalker at the moment is actually so poor. He's had the same items for about 10 minutes now. He had that Ogre Axe about 15 minutes in, and at the moment he has the exact same items, unless he has something I'm missing here. He does, in fact. He's got a BKB recipe. He's going to be getting very close to that Mithril Hammer. He's 500 gold away from BKB. That's why he took the top farm. I thought Anti-Mage was actually going to TP top and take that farm. With Night Stalker top, Slardar is looking to chase. He gets forced in. He's going to sprint. He needs to not chase too far, because if he gets caught alone, he could be in trouble, but he's going to find the CM. CM looking to TP, needs a stun, not going to get it in time. Slardar turns around too late, and CM does actually manage to escape. OD getting closer and closer to that Sheep Stick, but still has quite a long way to go. And it looks like UE want to go mid, which is, I think they're going to struggle to push into this Scourge base. They definitely have the superior team fight at the moment, but they need to look for ganks. They need to look to push this tier 2 tower top and bottom, as well as pick off heroes like this Brood. Brood, who is at the moment just solo farming. If they get something like a gem, they could look for some kills on heroes like Brood, and they do have to be careful of Brood picking up that BKB fairly soon, which will actually give him a huge team fight presence, because of the fact that OD can't focus him down as well. They do still have the Slardar, who can do fairly well against BKB heroes, but the OD, the Vengeful Spirit stun, the Lich Chain are going to be fairly limited in what they can do. We do see a Django up on Chen. That's going to give them some more added auras and great teamfight capabilities, and we do see Night Stalker getting swapped in. Is there a stun to follow? Doesn't look like ES with a huge blink ultimate. He's only level 1 though. Lich ultimate follows, takes out the ES. BKB on the Night Stalker, going to keep him alive, and Anti-Mage going to have to back off after blinking in. OD takes out those Manta illusions with ease. And meanwhile, bottom lane Brood just solo pushing, solo farming, putting on the pressure there. But we're going to see this Sentinel team go into this base soon, and they are going to push faster than this solo Brood Mother. I imagine they're going to look to take out racks and then TP back as soon as possible to defend that bottom racks. And the Scourge team, EXE, they're going to look to stall this push as long as possible, giving Brood time to push in, take out this tier 3 tower, maybe even some racks. The tier 3 tower at mid goes down, the base race is on, but I don't think Brood is going to be able to compete. There's the glyph from the Sentinel team, and I don't think Scourge have their glyph, having used it maybe 3-4 minutes ago. It is going to still be on cooldown. Swap in on the Night Stalker. Night Stalker going to get taken down quickly, but they need to focus racks and TP back to base. They can't spend too much time killing heroes. There's Chen. Lich TPing out. Chen cancels his TP and starts walking. OD needs to be careful. His TP actually gets cancelled. All these TPs getting cancelled. They really messing up. They TP in broad sight there. OD in trouble. OD making a huge mistake. Gets taken out. Picked off there. Bottom lane, Brood gets his racks down to half HP. Not going to be able to take it out. Slardar is now there, but OD getting picked off there. Still doesn't have that Sheep Stick. Is absolutely huge, and that's going to give EXE that slight glimmer of hope. They know that OD kill was a huge mistake and they capitalized on it, and they are going to be so happy they killed that OD, because OD without Sheepstick is still going to be so limited in what he can do here. Oh no, as we do see Brood still lingering around us, looking to push in possibly. Can he find an opening here? I don't think so, guys. It's just not going to present itself until the Anti-Mage actually on his way there. Anti-Mage, though, getting underfarmed. 30 minutes in, he still only has that Manta Style. Hasn't started his next line, but he's going to blink in. This Rax in so much trouble here with OD dead. They're not going to defend it, and a Rax for a Rax. Mid-Rax goes down, but only the melee Rax, and they are going to take the melee Rax at bottom in return. Maybe even the range Rax with these Spiderlings. Nova goes off. There's the Sentry Ward. Going to prevent Brood from coming back in, and I believe they will clear out these Spiderlings and keep their range Rax alive, which those range Rax do count. They're obviously nowhere near as important as the melee Raxes, but still, if you can keep them alive, you want to do that, because they do get you closer and closer to those Mega Creeps, which are basically game deciding. So right now, the game is back to that 50-50 point where I cannot tell who is the lead. I want to say Yui with a slight advantage, simply because this Anti-Mage is underfarmed. He's got Manta Style and Vanguard treads at 31 minutes. At 31 minutes, you'd expect him to have his next item up. Whether it's even if it's something like a Vlad's. Okay, I spoke too soon. He's got Talisman of Evasion and Quarterstaff, so he's actually on track to get a Butterfly in about maybe 3 minutes' time. So that's actually fairly good for him. Slanna at the moment, though, is even more farmed. Has BKB armor, is now the one holding a gem, has Vanguard and treads, and that's going to be them looking for kills on this Broodmother if Broodmother gets too aggressive. But Broodmother is going to have enough gold for that BKB, which we will see coming into play very, very soon. But the problem of the game, the entire game for UE, has been this Obsidian Destroyer, who's still unable to find that Hex, the Sheepstick, which they so desperately need. And until they see that coming into play, it's going to be so hard for them to push and team fight, and they are going to hopefully just leave all this farm for the OD, who so desperately needs it. And it's going to take a big team. I think they're going to have to win another team fight before he gets that Sheepstick, unless they do just stall. But the other thing that we do have to consider is Roshan. Roshan is coming back into play very, very soon, guys. The Aegis was picked up on the Slanna about maybe 7 or 8 minutes ago. Roshan will respawn in the next couple of minutes, and it's on the Scourge side of the map, so it's going to be easier for the Scourge team to take it, but at the same time, Sentinel are not going to want to give it up for free, so we're going to see Roshan really influencing how this game develops and what happens as we get into the late game at the moment. But for now, Slanna looking to get more and more farmed at bottom, maybe going for a Blink Dagger next, but maybe just looking to tank up more, or even get some more damage items, as both teams are playing very, very safe now. They know one mistake could cost them the game. Probably going to see some big smoke ganks coming out soon, and just both teams entering into this sort of stalemate point of the game where they just focus on farming. We're going to see Anti-Mage. Scourge, they don't want to fight until Anti-Mage has a Butterfly. Sentinel, they don't want to fight until OD has a Sheepstick, both of which is going to happen at the same time, which makes you wonder, well, why don't they just fight now? But it's because they don't know how close the other team are to those items. They obviously have a vague idea. I'm sure Sentinel know this Anti-Mage is very close to that Butterfly, and Scourge know OD has been trying for so long to get that Sheepstick up. He must be getting close if they haven't killed him in a while. And mid lane we do see Sentry Ward being popped. Brood gets stunned, but backs off right afterwards. Doesn't use BKB or anything. And guys, I do apologize for the average quality. I know my stream quality is not the best. I do thank everyone who is tuning in, regardless of the average quality. It is the best my internet can handle. Hopefully I can make up for it with my vivid descriptions and my vast imagination, where I just describe what's going on in such immaculate detail, which isn't actually the case. And here we go. The gold ticking up, gets a Butterfly on the Anti-Mage, and Roshan has respawned. That's that green dot on the minimap, meaning Roshan is back. Both teams should see that green dot. They both know. And here we see Sentinel. They've smoked. They know Roshan's up. They want to make sure that Scourge aren't in fact there. We're maybe going to see Hal. There we go. Hal goes in, not going to scout anything. I don't think the Scourge team even realize that Hal happened. Vengeful Spirit is going to reveal himself. He's caught completely alone. Trouble for him. Slanna needs to back him up as soon as possible, but ES is going to be there for the big blink ulti if he needs it. Slanna going to find the ES. Actually blinks away before Slanna stuns. Lich ulti bouncing around. Chen gets picked up by the Brood, and without those Chen heals, Sentinel in so much trouble. EXE have played this teamfight perfectly. Anti-Mage getting focused down a bit, but he gets blinks away, and there we see Slanna take out one, but he's in trouble. He's alone now. We've got a buyback by OD as well as the Chen. Wow, Chen buyback is absolutely huge, as well as the OD. OD is going to be so far away from that Sheepstick now because of that buyback, and that was a huge, huge swing in EXE's favor. winning a team fight very convincingly and forcing multiple buybacks. OD is not going to have a sheepstick anytime soon because of that buyback. Chen going to be nowhere near any sort of next item, whether that's a Ag Scepter or a sheepstick of his own. I mean, you could have seen Chen even heading towards a sheepstick if this game went to sort of 50, 60 minutes. It's not unrealistic to think a Chen could actually get a sheepstick. However, with that buyback, that's going to really set him back, and I'm definitely a bit rash there, deciding to immediately buy back. He knew a big team fight was going on. He wanted to get back involved, but as soon as you buy back, you're seeing it base here, you're like, okay, what do I do now? I can TP here, I can then start walking here, but by then the fight's over. Slaughter was dead, well, he's still dead, and it wasn't probably the best decision to actually buy back. But they do still have that middle ranks. They do have a lot of pressure coming up this mid lane. As you can see, even this tier 4 towers are taking a bit of damage from creeps, and that is going to help them in the long run, as they are going to force EXE to constantly defend, but EXE picking up so many kills there, and another save does get popped. My bad, guys, my bad. I should be saving. Just too excited. As I said, my multitasking is like Dota casting. Focus 1, or saving, focus 2, but then there's no Dota casting, so it's one or the other, guys, one or the other. Anyways, what is going on here? Venture Spirit has the medallion treads. Let's look at the CS, guys. I haven't done that since 5 minutes in, simply because I can't hover over here and see it, which probably is the reason why I should do it more. We have got 180 CS on the Anti-Mage, has Butterfly, Mantis-Style, Vanguard, and Treads. He is with a Blink Dagger, Gem, Medallion of his own, BKB, and Treads up on Night Stalker. Does have 1k gold. Maybe an Ag Scepter next, just for the vision. Not exactly sure what he will be going for there. We see a Django up on CM. Brood with Orchid, BKB, Treads has 150 CS, 184 CS on the OD. OD with the same CS as Anti-Mage, but then look at their items. OD has 4-staff, Ultimate Orb, Treads. Anti-Mage, Butterfly, Manta. Has 2 big items. OD has no big items. He's got a 4-staff, which is a fairly small item. Almost has a sheepstick, but that's not even there yet. So OD, despite having this huge CS, does no items to show for it. The 7 deaths is the reasoning there. Anti-Mage, 0 deaths. So this OD is not... I mean, he's been getting focused a lot of the game. It's not so much his fault, but it's definitely not gone the way Yui would have liked with this OD pick. And we are going to see some action at middle lane as Venture Spirit going to find the Night Stalker, need an amp damage. There we go! Have you ever seen a Night Stalker die so fast? What just happened? He just disappeared. And here we see Chen getting swapped away. The dust is popped. Brood not going to get spotted by it though. Have they got the gem? No, the gem's been dropped. I think I saw Earthshaker pick up that gem. Earthshaker, yes, does have that gem. Continuing on our CS journey, we see Lich with Treads, Django, and Mech. They've got 2 Djangos. Not going to matter too much because they can actually both use those charges. Top lane, we see OD trying to stop the push coming out from the Anti-Mage by the looks of it. Yes, it is the Anti-Mage. And the last hero was the Slaughter with 134 CS, Armlet, BKB, 1500 gold. Maybe going to go for something like a Blink Dagger just so he can initiate, catch the Anti-Mage. Maybe if he can get a Blink stun on the Anti-Mage, have Vengeful Spirits follow it up with another stun. There's definitely a chance they could kill him, but Anti-Mage does have that Butterfly, which will give him evasion, so maybe even going to see something like an MKB coming up next on Slaughter, just so he can go through that evasion that the Anti-Mage does get from Butterfly. And does he? Yeah, he still Aegis. Anti-Mage with Aegis is just going to get more and more farm, going to be able to just constantly push and pressure these tier 3 tower Raxes, and the way I see this game going is Anti-Mage just cheesing. Like, literally, he's just going to be solo pushing lanes. Basically, if Yui go to push mid, he was just going to push in top, use that Manta style. The fact he has Aegis makes him unkillable, and we're going to see some very cheesy play coming out from the Anti-Mage, but the kind of play which, it's cheesy, but it's just so smart. It's going to win them the game if he does do it correctly. But at the same time, Yui are going to be doing all they can to chain their stuns, pick him off where possible, and if they can get a sheepstick on the OD, it's possible to kill Anti-Mage, but they still haven't got that sheepstick! Oh my. If everyone's saying the stream quality just got better, hoorah! I love when that happens. Anyways, we are going to see Vengeful Spirit doing some scouting with that Howl. Brood has sitting on 2.8k gold, going to be going for that next item of his soon, possibly a Butterfly of his own against the Slaughter. Butterfly definitely going to be fairly useful. CM has some obstacles, looking to do some aggressive warding here by the looks of it. There is a Sentinel ward already there, so that's going to spot any warding done by the Crystal Maiden. But right now they're just playing so safe. The Spiderlings is doing the neutral farming there, while the CM, the Brood, just stayed in range for the experience, but not actually going in for any last hits. OD at bottom is getting closer to that sheepstick, guys. Fear not, we're going to see a sheepstick on this OD. At least I hope so, unless he gets picked off and then buys back again, and suddenly is at like 1k gold, and yeah. So hopefully this OD can get that sheepstick up. Probably going to see that crow flying out to secret shops soon. But if Scourge push and force a fight before he gets that sheepstick, it's going to be definitely. I definitely see that going in Scourge's favor without a sheepstick on this OD, and especially if they can kill OD, make a dent in his gold, and especially if they force him to buy back. If the only way that Sentinel can defend is with an OD buyback, then well, OD not going to be seeing a sheepstick anytime soon, and that basically is going to make them unable to stop this anti-mage without a sheepstick. And we do see a Vladimir's offering up on the anti-mage, and wow, this game is just so close. I can't emphasize how epic this game is, guys. This is your Roccat GosuCup semi-final, game number 2, EXE winning game 1. This is a must-win match for UE if they are to stay in this tournament. The winner of this goes on to the grand final to verse MUFC for $2,500. Nothing shabby about that at all, and both teams really wanting it right now, playing their hearts out. No one... I mean, every mistake counts, and they know it. You can see just these players are just playing so tight, but at the same time, it's going to be this cheesy style, which we're going to see from the anti-mage, just trying to play as safe as possible. One stun there. Is there a stun to follow it up? No, there's not. There's no... Needed a sheepstick there or a Slaughter with a stun, but it wasn't to be. And anti-mage could have been in trouble there. He does have that Aegis though, so even if he'd taken down, he would have respawned with that Aegis. And meanwhile, mid tier 2 tower is getting very low. Slaughter wants to go in, wants his Crystal Maiden, maybe going to pop a BKB. CM definitely going to go down. Anti-mage gets stunned by the VS. Anti-mage actually going to blink out, maybe going to go for that top racks, but no, we're going to see CM gets taken out. I think that's a CM at least. CM was very low in a bad position. 2 tornadoes go flying in. That's going to be some nice slow and AoE damage. Meanwhile, these creeps going in mid, doing a lot of damage, and Slaughter looking to just keep on chasing. Not going to find anything though. They don't have any vision on this Brood, but now they will, as Brood and Nightstalker go on the Vengeful Spirit. Where is the Slaughter? Needs to keep him alive. Anti-mage coming in as well. There's a huge Lich ultimate. Holy shit, this Lich is absolutely manning up here as we see ES coming in looking for a chance for some stuns. There's an ultimate on the Slaughter, needs to follow it up, gets Hex. Where's the Hex? Finally the Hex from the OD coming into play, but now OD in a bit of trouble here as the Nightstalker uses one nuke, uses a silence, and Anti-mage forced to blink out. Anti-mage still has an Aegis though, and like I said, Anti-mage could just go for this top lane. He could avoid this team fight, have the Broodmother distract, and this is what we're going to see here. Anti-mage going to that cheesy chat. He could just blink in now. The creeps are in bottom lane. He doesn't even have to go in with creeps. He could just go in, but the Brood is just absolutely dominating this team fight. Picks off the Chen. Slaughter is very low. OD does have that sheep up very soon, and we'll have to be careful here as we see Anti-mage Brood come flying in. The Manta style, the silence. OD forces himself out. That's going to keep him alive. A huge Slaughter stun, stuns multiple heroes. Brood with the BKB gets rid of the amp damage, and Slaughter in trouble now as he's red HP, has the amp damage on him, can turn the armor off and on. Wow, OD! Red HP! 50 HP! Can he do it? He's done it! He's killed the Anti-mage on 50 HP! Anti-mage with the Aegis so will respawn, but I'm just getting absolutely chills. I cannot believe what I'm seeing here, guys. UE are hanging on by a thread. Anti-mage is retreating. Brood is slowing down, not being as aggressive, and the CMES are in base defending this push. I'm gonna save because I need something to just like breathe. Whew. And we're gonna regain my breath here, as this is a bit too much for me to handle. Close some window. Apparently I need to close some window. I'm not quite sure what that window is. Whoever in IRC is complaining about that, but the fact that only one person is saying something. Anyways, whew, okay, we're back. And UE, wow, I cannot believe that they've actually defended that push. Anti-mage with Aegis, OD with less than 50 HP, turned around, hexed the Anti-mage, killed the Anti-mage, and defended. I mean, I've been sort of not so much as bashing this OD all game, but definitely criticizing his farm because he has had a very tough game, and there he's just redeemed himself completely. And a smoke coming out from the Sentinel team. They're going to want to go in mid. The Brood does have that gem. Have they got dust or sentries? They need one or the other. I don't think they do, unfortunately. Without dust or sentries, they can't kill this Brood, and they know that. They're going to look for this Anti-mage maybe. Anti-mage does have that blink and Manta style. Picks up an illusion rune, so can do some scouting here. They're going to scout Roche, and this is just so hit or miss. Who's been spotted? EXE do have this obs ward here. They spot the OD. They would have spotted the Chant. I think they know that the entire Sentinel team is probably smoked. And what we are going to see is Brood pushing into this mid lane, forcing that to be defended. And some little pincer moves coming in here as the Antimate's looking to backstab them. The Brood is going to be coming out in from the front, but they do just back off here. I think EXE going to just play this safe. They want to wait for that Roshan. If they can get Aegis as well as Cheese on their team, they're going to have a much easier time pushing into the Sentinel base, and that Roshan is going to be up in about 2 minutes time, I want to say. I think it comes up around 47 minutes. I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty much making that up, but that's... Oh, no, okay, 45 minutes. They know better than I do. It's 45 minutes 30. They were camping there for a reason. There's the Roshan. They're going to immediately go for that. And Sentinel, they're just not going to be able to get there in time. There's no mistake there by Sentinel. They had to defend their base. They couldn't actually be at Roshan. They had to defend their base, and they're not going to be able to get there in time to stop Roshan being taken. And bad news for them, Aegis on the Anti-Mage, Cheese on Night Stalker. Maybe going to give the Cheese to the Brood, but Brood is holding the gem, and Brood with 6k gold has plenty of gold for a buyback. Night Stalker gets KO'd once again. This is the second time of the game this Night Stalker getting instantly killed, and Anti-Mage in so much trouble here as the Aegis is going to probably get popped here if Anti-Mage doesn't blink the hell out.